How do we live in a virtuous, free, noble, peaceful society? How do we eliminate war? How do we eliminate imprisonment? How do we eliminate torture? These are all essential moral questions. When you're going to go from the realm of pragmatism into the realm of morality, you can't erase your principles, because the whole reason you're there is because of it. Anarchists and I will agree, self-owned property rights, the non-initiation of force are the moral principles that are the most sacred, the most important, the most vital. I would argue the most pragmatic principles to hold to. We can't have a moral goal called the improvement of mankind, the reduction of violence and torture, war and murder, and then say, in our very first step towards that, we're going to break those moral principles and create an institution that has the right to do everything that we consider immoral. If we want to build a bridge towards virtue, we have to go in that direction. We don't say, it's so important, it's so moral to go north, the first thing I'm going to do is head south. You can't break the principle in your very first step. Maybe towards the end when things are really hellish, but not at the very beginning. And if you want a peaceful society, as we all do, and you want a society that respects persons, property, then you stick to those principles and you don't break them the very first time you set forward your solutions and say, yes, property rights are important, so let's create an institution with the perfect power to destroy them. Yes, self-ownership is so important, so let's create an organization with the power to own people through taxation, through laws. Yes, the non-initiation of force is the most important principle, so let's immediately create an institution which its very definition is to break that principle. Let's not sell out the first step. Okay, maybe the 100th step when we're offered a lot of money, but not the first step. And that's the consistency that voluntarism or anarchism or a dedication to nonviolence and to self-ownership gives you. You stick with your principles. If you're going to abandon your principles, why even bother being in the moral arena to begin with? And so let's not look to a violent institution to solve the problem of violence. Let's not look to a monopoly of the initiation of aggression to solve the problem of human conflict. Let's not give up on our principles the very first time we utter our solution, but let's stick consistently with those principles, because not only are they true, and not only are they moral, but damn it, they work. And this debate, which is completely nonviolent, and this audience, who is perfectly delightful, is a perfect example of that. Everywhere you look, you see spontaneous social organization without violence. You see it in the marriage market. You see it in the job market. You see it in the educational market. You see human beings coming together to solve problems in a voluntary and peaceful manner. Anarchy is what we live. Statism is the exception. People say, well, what's proof of anarchy? They say, oh, can you prove to me that anarchy works? Look in the mirror. When was the last time you used violence to get a job? I have never used violence to get a job. Postal workers accept that. When was the last time you used violence to get a date? I've never used violence to get a date. So, you negotiate. You work peacefully. Does that mean everyone's like that? No, of course not. That's why we can't have a government. People think it's an argument for the government. It's the exact argument against the government. We work voluntaristically, peacefully, in every aspect of our lives. If you want to look at anarchism, look at 99.999% of everything that you do is voluntary and peaceful and cooperative. Yeah, you'll get disagreements. Yeah, you may raise your voice. Yeah, you may get mad at people. But you don't pull out damage. That's the vast majority of people. And I'm not going to give up my freedom because there are a few evil people in the world. I'm not going to allow the fear-mongering of people who say you need a government which will protect you from the evil people. I don't want to give up my freedom, my daughter's freedom, my wife's freedom. I don't want to give up that freedom because there are bad people in the world. Isn't that surrendering something essential and important? Because there are bad people in the world, I need to get into a cage called statism. Doesn't that mean they win? That's a shame. I don't want that. I don't think you want that either. We have to come up with more creative solutions than, I hear something in the bushes, let me get into a cage for the rest of my life. I'm not that scared of bad people. I'm really not, to the point where I'm going to huddle in a cage. You know, like a frightened chihuahua. Because there might be a beast out there in the bushes. Because every time I go out, I don't see a beast. and I see that the people who are telling me there's a beast are the ones who are the actual predators. Right? Say, well, you got to get into the cage because there are predators out there, but the only guns I see are the government. They're not protecting me from someone else. They are the people who are threatening me. I will take my chances that what's in the bushes is a squirrel rather than hide in a cage because I'm afraid of bad people. I don't want to surrender my liberty to the mere potentiality of evil. And I don't think you should either.